working online again means that you have global reach, and this is, I think, is important. Using culture seems to play roles into the relationship dynamic, whether it's a dating or even a married relationship. So from your perspective, what do you see as the number one challenge in relationships?
I think you hear it all the time, but communication is the most important thing in relationships. The reason being is that you can bridge any gap with proper communication, whether it is a cultural difference, like you were saying, or a difference in the way that you think a relationship should be. I mean, different expectations, all of that can be conveyed, and you can come to some sort of resolution or at least understanding through communication. So without a doubt, that's where everything breaks down, is when communication stops, or when it's not effective, or when, it's just not there. It's not working.
Yeah, that's good.
So one of the things I like about not having a script is it really allows us to go where we want to go in our conversation. And in this perspective, what happens when one is willing to make change or be communicative, but the other one doesn't? How do you deal with that? And sometimes that even means that person who doesn't want to learn or improve communication doesn't want outside help either. So how does the other partner or the other spouse deal with that?
It's actually a really common situation, and I would say I probably see more individuals than couples in my practice for that very reason. And they come to me because they want to work on their relationship, but their partner doesn't. And I think the important thing is to really want to work on yourself for you. And whatever happens as a result of that, whether improving your relationship happens as a result of that, or maybe even deciding to leave the relationship if your partner isn't going to step up to meet you where you're at. I think just going in with the intention of, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to become the person I want to be so that I can be happy, regardless of what my partner is doing. That's the attitude you should have going into any type of therapeutic work.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to feel like you're trying to manipulate or control your partner. Your partner will feel that right off the bat, first of all. So it really needs to be, you need to be unattached to the outcome that happens with, outside of yourself, and really just more in tune with the outcome within yourself.
Sure. And I'm sure, when there is that issue in the relationship, that other partner builds that wall. So they don't want to discuss anything. But I think that the other partner that is willing to, go to therapy or learn how to work on themselves or how to maybe try to fix it, it's helpful for them to understand, right? That they're doing all they can, and this is the reality of the situation.
Yeah. And a lot of times when you change, you inspire change in others. So again, I don't love for that to be the intention of the work going in, but it is a really great side effect that happens like 90% of the time.
Yeah. And we've seen couples where, maybe the one is working on it and working on themselves and trying to figure things out. And then the other one sees everything in the distance and then realizes, well, I want that too. Like I want to have that joy, or I want what he or she's doing. And then, maybe then we'll be open to it or want to work on the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working with a woman now who I met with her and her husband for the first session. He didn't want to be a part of therapy. He said, okay, fine, I'll go just this one session to see. And she was like, okay, well, I do, because I'm not happy in my own life, even regardless of you. And as she and I have been working together for probably 4 or 5 months now, I'd say, she's like, he's so different. He's so much nicer. He's so much more loving. We're getting along so much better. And it's like, well, you're doing all that and you're inspiring. You're giving him permission to act different because you're being different.
Wow, that's really good.
Very insightful. Does he come, or he only came the one time and doesn't show up?
He only came the one time. Yeah. But their relationship is like night and day different.
Wow.
So for all the guys out there, because I'm going to talk to the guys, because I think I have permission to. Listen to what Dr. Schewitz just said. Think about how you might at least contribute to helping to improve communication. And throw myself under the bus, I can tell you very early on, maybe around year 10, let me think, maybe year 7, between 7 and 10, brand new babies at the house, well, more or less, they were toddlers. I was traveling a tremendous amount for work, and it just seemed like, you get into that routine and things were just getting there was pressure. And I can still remember having come back from a road trip from Arizona, and Linda just seemed to be full of life and energy, and I was haggard and beat down and didn't want to do with anything. And then I made a decision at that point that, you know, I need to figure this out, because otherwise, to me, it just seemed like we were going to start drifting apart. And that brought us back to a number of things where we gave each other permission to speak truths into our lives, even when I didn't want to hear it, right? Why you're being grumpy. And so what that looked like was when she said, why am I being grumpy? I wasn't allowed to, you know, F you, blah, 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 blah. I had to listen to it and think about, okay, how can I change this up? And vice versa, because, you know, although you might think Linda has it all together, she's got little rough edges here and there that we have to deal with.
I'm Italian, so no.
but so I say this, one of the reasons why fun-loving couples exist for travel, eating well, working out, having fun, is because, so back up a few years ago, here we are, almost 25 years 25 years married, almost
26.
Well, I know now. I'm just saying back then. See what I mean? Just wants to always correct me. So anyway,
That's the
you
woman
have to get those
right
dates
there.
right?